there comes a moment, usually sometime after 40, when the math starts to feel uncomfortable. You begin to realize that retirement is no longer a distant idea. It's approaching, quietly, relentlessly. And then the questions start. Have I done enough? Will my savings last? What happens if I can't work as hard in 10 or 15 years? You've worked for decades, paid bills, raised families, helped others. But when you look at your finances, one truth becomes hard to ignore. Active income alone is not enough, because one day your energy will slow down, but your expenses won't. That's when everything changes. This is where I made a shift away from depending only on earned income and toward building income that pays me whether I work or not. Not gambling, not speculation, but structured, predictable, income-producing assets. And over time, that shift turned into something powerful. A consistent $1,000 per month in dividend income. No hype, no overnight success. Just a system that works, especially if you're starting after 40. If you're watching this right now, chances are you've spent most of your life working for everyone else. Your job, your family, your responsibilities. But when was the last time you made a decision purely for your own future? Subscribing to this channel isn't just clicking a button. It's a declaration, a decision that the next phase of your life will be different, that your money will start working as hard as you have. So if you're serious about building income, security, and freedom after 40, subscribe now, because this might be the turning point you've been waiting for. For many people over 40, the financial strategy they've relied on for years begins to feel outdated. The traditional approach, save consistently, invest broadly, and hope the market grows, worked well when time was abundant. But after 40, time becomes a more limited resource. And that changes everything. You are no longer investing with a 30 or 40-year runway. You're investing with intention, with urgency, with clarity. This is where dividend growth investing becomes incredibly powerful. Instead of focusing purely on growing your portfolio's value, the focus shifts to generating consistent, reliable income from it. Income that shows up whether you're working or not. Income that can supplement your salary today and potentially replace it tomorrow. But here's the key difference. This isn't about chasing high returns or risky opportunities. It's about building a portfolio of high-quality companies that pay and consistently increase their dividends over time. At first, the income feels small. $10, $25, maybe $100, but then something happens. As dividends are reinvested and the portfolio grows, the income begins to compound. The snowball starts rolling, and once it reaches a certain point, around $500 per month, it accelerates faster than most people expect. Reaching $1,000 per month isn't magic. It's math, discipline, and strategy. And if you're over 40, it's not too late. It's actually the perfect time to start doing it right. Most people focus on one number, dividend yield, but that's only part of the story. What truly matters, especially after 40, is something called yield on cost. This is the return you earn based on the price you originally paid for a stock. Let's simplify it. If you invest in a company paying a 3% dividend today, and that company increases its dividend every year, your effective yield grows over time. 5 years later, you may be earning 5%, 7%, even 10% on your original investment. That's the power. But it only works if you stay consistent and if you reinvest your dividends early on. This is where dividend reinvestment comes in. Instead of taking your dividends as cash, you automatically use them to buy more shares. More shares mean more dividends. More dividends mean more shares. And the cycle continues. This is how small beginnings turn into significant income streams. After 40, your strategy must change. Aggressive growth might have worked in your 20s or 30s, but now the priority shifts. Protect your capital. Generate income. This is where a balanced approach becomes critical. A simple and effective structure is a 60-40 portfolio. 60% in dividend growth stocks, companies with lower yields but strong histories of increasing dividends year after year. And 40% in current income stocks, those offering higher yields now, providing immediate cash flow. Because not all high-yield stocks are safe. Some are what we call yield traps, companies paying high dividends because their stock price is falling or their business is weakening. And that's dangerous. So your focus should always be on strong balance sheets, consistent earnings, and long dividend histories. This isn't about chasing the highest yield. It's about building reliable income you can count on. Here's something many people overlook. Not all dividends are taxed the same way. And if you ignore this, you could lose a significant portion of your income to taxes. Some dividends are taxed at lower rates, while others are taxed like regular income. So the strategy is simple. Place higher yield investments in tax-advantaged accounts and keep more tax-efficient dividends in regular accounts. Because your goal isn't just to earn $1,000 per month. It's to keep as much of that money as possible. Smart investors don't just focus on returns. They focus on what they actually get to keep. Now, here's where things get interesting. Most dividend stocks don't pay monthly. They pay quarterly. So, how do you create a consistent monthly income? You structure your portfolio into 3 groups. One group pays in January, April, July, and October. Another pays in February, May, August, and November. And the last pays in March, June, September, and December. By combining these groups, you create a system where money comes in every single month. It's like building your own paycheck. And over time, as your investments grow, each payment becomes larger and more reliable. Let me ask you something, and really think about this. What would an extra $1,000 every single month do for your life right now? Would it ease pressure, cover bills, give you breathing room, or dignity? Drop your answer in the comments, because this isn't just about money. It's about what that money represents. Security, freedom, options. There's a moment in this journey that changes everything. And it's not when you hit $1,000 per month. It comes much earlier. It's when your dividends start covering something specific. A bill, a subscription, a car payment, maybe even your electricity bill. That's when it becomes real. Because now it's no longer theory. It's proof. You see your investments paying for your life. And that changes your behavior. You become more disciplined, more focused, more consistent, because now you know it works. And from that point, scaling to $1,000 per month becomes less emotional and more mechanical. So how do you start today? First, define your target. $1,000 per month is $12,000 per year. Based on an average yield, that means building toward a portfolio of roughly $300,000. Now don't let that number scare you, because you don't start there. You build toward it. Start investing consistently, every month if possible. Focus on quality dividend-paying companies. reinvest your dividends in the early stages. Structure your portfolio to create monthly income and review your progress regularly. Even if you start small, 200, 500, or 1,000 per month, it adds up. And as your income grows, you increase your contributions. Remember, after 40, your advantage isn't time. It's focus, discipline, and higher earning potential. Use that, because the goal isn't perfection. It's progress. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are simply at a point where your decisions matter more. And when you shift from earning money to owning income-producing assets, everything changes. If this spoke to you, share it with one person who needs it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And watch the next video on building your first dividend portfolio step by step. Because your next income stream starts now.